Hello, children. It's the world today is just insane. Even after all the people on the interwebs who are on the center, the classical liberal, and a little bit on the right, after all of us went and said to the far left how they can start winning again, how they can stop being a laughing stock, they the identity politicking, the hate mongering, fear mongering, screeching, screaming that has been going on for the last decade and has ratcheted up in the last year and a half. After all of that, if we told them to stop doing that, they've doubled down and now they're starting to eat themselves. How do I know this? How does anyone know this? Look to Canada. Trudeau says he's going to accept all of the people that Donald Trump is banning. It's a suspension in travel, not a ban. And instead of cheering him on for this, the crazy bitch who is the leader of Black Lives Matter Toronto is calling him a white supremacist terrorist. The fuck? Last time I checked, the people he wants to bring in are brown. He hates himself for being white. But he's a white supremacist terrorist. You couldn't get more cucked and white-hating than Justin Trudeau. But he's a white supremacist terrorist. And then she changes history by saying that Canada was built on slavery. No, Canada is where the slaves tried to run away to be free, you dumb cunt. Read your history. Not the propaganda that your teachers are teaching you about America, but your actual history. It's called the Underground Railroad, stupid. Yeah. The far left, the progressives, are a snake that's starting to eat itself. Stop it! Me, I'm center. I would like to be fiscally conservative, but in all other things, I'm fairly liberal. My philosophy is, as long as ain't nobody getting hurt by whatever you're doing, and as long as whatever you're doing ain't against the law, do whatever the fuck you want. And yeah, some laws don't make no sense, but this is where you peacefully protest. Like, have your picket signs and whatnot, march and do your chanting. Don't hit nobody. But make petitions and things to change the law if it's actually unjust. And give people good arguments and good reasons to change the laws if they're unjust. But I digress. As long as what you doing ain't hurting nobody, and you ain't forcing you ain't forcing it on nobody, do whatever the fuck you want. That's my point of view. But yeah. So when I see crap like this, I'm like, he's giving you a good chunk of what you've demanded. In fact, all of Canada is bending over backwards and taking it up the ass every time the people on the far left demand something. But the cuck in chief is a white supremacist terrorist? They what? I don't. And the whole punch a Nazi thing. From what I'm hearing, anyone who disagrees with anything you say is a Nazi. I'm black. And somehow I think you would consider me a Nazi. You people are scaring everybody over to the far right. You do know that, right? You're scaring everybody over to the conservative camp because we see you and we think you're fucking crazy and we want to disassociate ourselves from you. You crazy fucks. You just crazy. Ugh, well. I still say, to this day, live and let live. And stop trying to force people to see things your way, because it don't work that way. You gotta make it look good. You gotta make good arguments. And Audi virtue signaling over the wage gap, which, yeah, it's kind of illegal in all Western countries for a man to be paid more than a woman, for anyone to be paid more than anyone else for the exact same job. It's actually illegal. So the wage gap doesn't exist. There's an earnings gap because of choices. But pushing propaganda in your advertising is how many a company goes under. Because people look at that advertising, people who actually can think for themselves and actually know how the world works, are going, that's bullshit, I'm not buying from them. So again, stop it! Stop with the virtue signaling, it don't work. In fact, it shuts companies down. I mean, I'm pretty sure Budweiser lost a few dozen shares at one point because of that. And Audi's, I don't even have my license yet. I briefly considered getting an Audi. It was between, well, that was on the bottom of my list really. Underneath Volkswagen and Fiat. Now it's just off the list entirely. Because if you're looking more to gender politics than to the quality of your car, I just want to know about the damn car. Is that so hard? Apparently it is. Kellogg's. I haven't bought Kellogg's in years because it's too freaking expensive. But they went to politics too. Lego. Lego is just supposed to be a fun toy. I played with Legos. But now you're making it about gender. Stop it! And taking out advertising because the company that, the paper that you used to advertise in didn't agree with your politics. Stop it! Nobody gives a crap about politics when they're going to buy shit. Not unless they're a far leftist social justice wacko. And they're a loud, admittedly, minority. So stop it! And then there's a whole nonsense over here about doctors no longer being able to call pregnant women expectant mothers. If you are capable of bearing a child, you are a woman and you are a mother. Do not pander to the 0.0000000.0000002% of the population when 99.999999999999999% of that same half of the population doesn't give a shit. Stop pandering. Stop pandering, stop virtue signaling, stop calling people names, stop the identity politics, and stop advocating for violence. All of those things is what drive people to the right. Just stop it. Stop it. Stop it! And stop getting on Lady Gaga's case just because she didn't make the halftime show at the Super Bowl all about politics. More than half of that audience is right-wing. She would have gotten booed off the stage. It's business. She's there to sing, let her sing. She had a little bit of a political message in there. Just because it wasn't blatant enough for you doesn't mean she needs to come out under fire. Just stop it. Stop it. Because people are sick of hearing that shit out of a celebrity's mouths too. Just because you famous doesn't mean you know what the hell you're talking about. Shut up. And just do the thing you paid to do. Simple. We're sick of it. Everybody's sick of it. Well, that's me done ranting again. I'm gonna get to sleep because I've got to get to work. I'm one of those few people in the world who has to work for a living. Unlike all of them protesters screaming about bullshit they don't understand and just follow along like a bunch of sheep. Good night, children.